And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So hit subscribe. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, keep the comments coming, and share with a friend because the stupidity never ends. Talk about stupidity. Trump's cabinet meeting yesterday, it felt more like an elementary school birthday celebration where everyone in the room has to go around and say one nice thing about the birthday boy. Meanwhile, CNN put together a compilation. This is spectacular. Play the clip.
He's actually doing the things that he promised that he would do. And Mr. President, it's been an honor to be a part of it for the past 100 days.
Mr. President, the last 4 years, the world experienced a total lack of zero leadership under Biden. And then we've had 100 days of your leadership with respect, with strength.
President, your first 100 days has far exceeded that of any other presidency in this country, ever. Never seen anything like it. Thank you.
President Trump, in your first term, when I had a chance to work with you as governor, you were courageous. The thing that's empowering this amazing group of people around this table, and you've probably assembled the greatest cabinet ever, is that this time you're not just courageous, you're actually fearless.
Yeah, fearless. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent proudly touted the accomplishments in the first 100 days. Play that clip.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, Scott.
Sir, it's been a momentous 100 days with you at the helm, and I view this 100 days as setting the table for peace deals, trade deals, tax deals. So the next 100 days will be harvesting. You've created negotiating leverage and leadership that are going to yield remarkable results. Energy costs have plummeted, mortgage rates are down, food costs are moving lower, and American families are finding their financial footing again.
Thank God that he wrote that shit down, because there's no way in the world that Scott Bessent was going to remember all that nonsense. Meanwhile, you can't have a table without, the sycophant Howard Lutnick himself speaking about Trump gold cards. Play that clip.
Together, we're going to train the workforce to build America. It's unbelievable. We've got so much, as I travel around, the attention on the Trump gold card. I mean, it makes me very popular. Last night, I was out to dinner, and someone came up and said, can I buy 10? And how do I buy 10? And I'm like, that's pretty good. It's $50 million for dinner. So, I was paying for my dinner. The external revenue.
Yeah, by the way, isn't it supposed to be like one gold card per person? So why does a person need 10 unless they have 10 aliases? Think about that, Howard. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, remember in every class, there's always a pain in the ass. And Elon Musk is that person. He's the troublemaker in the class, no matter how you want to slice it. Play the clip.
Elon, I love the double hat, by the way. He's the only one that can do that. Get away with it.
Well, Mr. President, they say I wear a lot of hats. That's true. Even my hat has a hat.
Every class had a class clown. Sometimes I would be that person. But 2 hats, Elon must have thought that up. He probably Googled it or something like that. What's a great thing to say about wearing multiple hats? Because I assure you, with his personality, he didn't come up with that himself. Meanwhile, Trump goes on to speak about the sinking GDP. Play that clip.
Get the criminals out of our country, and that's the basis under which we won the election. Core GDP, and this is, you probably saw some numbers today. And I have to start off by saying that's Biden. That's not Trump, because we came in on January, this is the quarterly numbers. And we came in, and I was very against everything that Biden was doing in terms of the economy, destroying our country. And so,
yeah, mind you, if he would have done nothing and GDP kept going up, you could only imagine him taking the credit for it, right? But of course, the table agreed that the tariff deals will be the biggest deals ever. Play that clip.
In the history of the
in history. This is the biggest deal ever done. If you sold IBM, ExxonMobil, and 5 other companies together, it's peanuts compared to what we're doing. This is the biggest deal ever done financially in the history of the world. And I think we're doing great. You're going to see some big, big results. Go ahead.
As the bobbleheads continue to go like this, like the dog that sits on top of your car, right? That just keeps going like this on your dashboard. Yeah. Meanwhile, Trump speaks about how China is doing very poorly. Again, a reference to the trade. Play the clip.
I just saw some reports coming out, and I don't want that to happen to China. I like the president a lot, President Xi. I don't want it to happen. I was actually saddened to hear it, but they are getting absolutely hammered in China. And, they're sending boats, the biggest boats in the world, carrying cargo like nobody's ever seen before. These are the biggest boats in the world, biggest cargo ships in the world. And they're coming and they're turning around in the Pacific Ocean. They're doing a big U-turn and going back because they don't want the goods because 145% tariff. But at a certain point, I hope we're going to make a deal with China. We're talking to China, but their factories are closing all over China because we're not taking their product. We don't want their product unless they're going to be fair with us. And that includes intellectual property and other things. There are a lot of things far beyond just buy, sell.
Yeah, there's not an ounce of truth in any of that. Factories are not shutting down. In fact, there are not boats that are making U-turns, and that these boats, the biggest, no one has ever seen boats like this. What did they do? They built them yesterday in order to take goods to the United States before the 145% tariff hit. Do you know how stupid that it sounds? If you actually just read the lines, forget about who's saying it. Just turn around, get the transcript and read it, and you say to yourself, yeah, none of this is true. Meanwhile, Trump goes on to suggest that Americans will just have to consume less because of the tariffs. And I'm sure, 100% certain, that his supporters will be happy to hear that Christmas gifts are now canceled. Play that clip.
Much of it we don't need. Somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff, much of which, not all of it, but much of which we don't need.
Yeah, he doesn't need it, right? And by the way, when was the last time that for Christmas you bought your kid 30 gifts for the holiday? Trump continues to blame, of course, Joe Biden, saying that if we had a bad economy, even next quarter, it's still going to be Biden's fault. No, seriously, let me say that again. Even if the economy next quarter is bad, which it's expected to be, and he knows it, he's going to blame Joe Biden. Play the clip.
Look at the stock market in this case, it says how bad a situation we inherited. This is a quarter that we looked at today, and we took all of us together. We came in on January 20th. So this is Biden, and you could even say the next quarter is sort of Biden because it doesn't just happen on a daily or an hourly basis.
Sure it doesn't. Meanwhile, nothing says that I need less help from somebody than J.D. Vance coming out to speak about the media misinterpreting Trump. Thank God that Trump has good old J.D. Vance to the rescue. Play that clip.
And the reason the media attacks this administration as chaotic is because the president is solving the problems the American people set about to solve. He's actually doing the things that he promised that he would do. And Mr. President.
Yeah. Talk about sycophantic. Because then Vance goes on and also says that past presidents have just been placeholders. They've just been placeholders for the one and only King Donald. Play that clip.
And I think what it shows to me is that the president, and you sit in the Oval Office and you see these portraits of presidents past, and let's be honest, most of them have been placeholders. They've been people who have allowed their staff to sign executive orders with an auto pen instead of men of action. And
yeah, and the award for biggest asshole goes to J.D. Vance. Everybody at the table knows exactly what's going on. I've been at that table. Everybody knows what's going on. This is not about a cabinet meeting getting together. This isn't about the 100 days. This is about sitting there and ensuring that your job remains secure. I only wish that Pete Hegseth would have said something. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, of course, was there as well, saying that he wouldn't talk to the press or even to judges, for example, about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Play that clip.
etc.
Yes,
Would be fine, yes.
President. Secretary Rubio, can I ask you a question? You brought up El Salvador in your remarks. Have you been in touch with El Salvador about returning Abrego Garcia? Has a formal request from this administration been made?
Well, I would never tell you that. And you know who else I'll never tell? A judge. Because the conduct of our foreign policy belongs to the President of the United States and the executive branch, not some judge. So we will conduct foreign policy appropriately if we need to. But I'll never discuss it. And no one will ever make us discuss it because that's how foreign policy works.
Mr. President.
Sure. Except that a judge already told you that you need to facilitate. This is the Supreme Court of the United States. See, the problem here, as like I wrote in my Substack of this morning, Trump has zero respect for the Constitution. And he has even less than zero respect for the rule of law and process. And as a direct result, morons like Marco Rubio make statements like that. Now, finally, I want to end on a clip of Rubio admitting that they are going to try to find other countries to deport people to. Play that clip.
Move quickly because this has been a team effort. We have gone to countries all over the world and said, hey, you want good relations with the United States, you need to take back your people that are here illegally. And we've had historic cooperation. Beyond that, and I say this unapologetically, we are actively searching for other countries to take people from third countries. So we are active, not just El Salvador, we are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries. Will you do that as a favor to us? And the further away from America, the better, so they can't come back across the border. I'm not apologetic about it. We are doing that. The president was...
Yeah, of course he's not apologetic. God forbid you apologize and you admit error in front of Trump. Look, like I said, in my Substack, which I entitled, Justice Isn't Blind, It's Been Blindfolded. Trump's second term is now shattering every single democratic norm. It's replacing law with loyalty. It's gutting institutions, and it is daring. This administration is daring America to stop his unchecked, vengeful grip on power. And I keep saying, join me in stopping this. Subscribe, watch, comment, and share with your friends. Together, we will stop this overreaching. We will stop Trump's steamrolling of every single barrier, bulldozing our institutions, and basically, again, daring the Constitution to stop him. Let's do it together. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.